All right, this time it worked. We are live. We are live on Facebook. FantasyHolics live mock draft. We have some podcasters. We have some writers from FantasyHolics here filling out our mock draft. 9 out of the 12 spots are open, so we're asking our viewers, the fans of FantasyHolics, to fill that spot. The link has been posted by Great White Buffalo. We have slots 1, 5, and 6 open. So if you want to mock draft with us, feel free to join us. This is our first live broadcasted mock drive, fellas. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, yo. I got that second spot. Means I'm locking up either, my kicker or my defense.
Right. Right.
More likely.
Naturally.
More likely, like a, solid running back of some sort, like a Taylor or a Henry kind of guy. But yeah, we were just talking. We got John here on the bottom screen here. He's in the 12 spot. I'm really interested to see what he does over there, knowing that he likes running backs. Wondering what he's going to do over there.
Just waiting to see what everybody else is feeling. Heavy running back. I can feel it. I'm going to get stuck with like Justin Jefferson making it all the way to 12. I can feel it.
That's not the worst thing. Hey, listen, I'm heavy running back too. I'm heavy running back too. So, John, whatever you do at the 12 spot is huge for me. We do have one spot left open. That's slot number 5. So once we get that filled, we'll get going. Maybe wait a little bit. We have some people in the chat. Let us know what you think of our picks. Let us know who you would have picked in our position, where we give you our thought process of why we're choosing who we're choosing. Yeah, it should be a good time. I mean, it's officially draft season. It's mid-July, so I know most drafts happen in August, but here at FantasyHolics, we definitely start this way too early, and we're not ashamed of it at all.
Get your practice in.
Yeah,
that's it.
See, I wonder if we can even call it like starting early. Like we just never stop.
That is wow. Look at that. That's a tagline right there. FantasyHolics, we never stop. Lucas wants to know if it's a super flex. It is not a super flex. We do have 1 flex, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Very basic format for this mock draft.
Hey Josh, why don't you pull up the screen where it has the team with the roster positions so everybody can see what we're looking at, and then I'll click start in just a second here.
All right, so that might actually disturb a couple things. Let's see.
Well, let's not do that then.
Here we go. Talking about this.
Give me your team, your roster. Click all the way to the right there. Roster.
There we go.
Boom.
So we got QB.
Nailed
1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a flex with wide receiver, running back, and tight end. Obviously, a tight end, kicker, defense, and 5 bench. But we're going to get this started. So blaze that 50. You are on the clock.
You guys think Jonathan Taylor's a consensus number 1 in every draft?
I think it has to be. Yeah.
Not super. No. And redraft,
right?
Yeah.
Not super flex. I would agree, of course, but in any kind of 1 quarterback league, Jonathan Taylor is that number 1. I can see you going with like somebody who really likes Najee, somebody who really likes Henry, McCaffrey, those kind of guys. But like, listen, if you're joining a draft and you got the second pick, like most likely Jonathan Taylor's gone. Speaking of, I'm on the clock, and we're gonna go with my boy, Derrick Henry. I will start off with him. I don't care. I will take him any day.
You still believe?
Why wouldn't I? That guy's gonna get all the volume in the world. That's a surprise pick, though.
Austin Eckler goes at 3. I had Austin Eckler last year. Wow, we're moving fast here. Cooper Kupp at 4. Receiver at 4. How do you guys feel about that?
It's early, bro. Too early.
Too early?
Too early.
Even for Kupp?
Still a little too early. There's some top-notch running backs there. I like McCaffrey. Yeah, I would have went McCaffrey number 4.
Let me ask you this question. If you're taking a guy like Cooper Kupp who crushes it last year, absolutely crushes it, are you ever going to be satisfied with the numbers he puts up this year?
Yeah. If I draft him as my first pick, like Lucas just did now, and he gives me something similar, yes, I'm very satisfied. Absolutely.
He'd have to land in the top 5 for sure. It's tough. The repeat rate for wide receivers that land wide receiver 1 year to year is almost non-existent. So it's a tough one.
All right. So Najee went number 7. I knew I wasn't going to get him at number 9. I was hoping that this would be one of those drafts where everyone chooses a wide receiver or Kelsey goes early. So I'm on the clock right now. This is me.
100%. I know where you're going.
Who am I going? Tell me who I'm going.
It's going to be Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
Listen,
I wanted to fake you out a little bit, but no, I got to grab a running back first round always. It's a rule. It's a rule.
I've been close enough to you for the last 15 years to know exactly where you're going there. I bet I can guess your next pick, too.
I don't think you can.
I think so.
I don't think you can. No.
We'll get there. It rhymes with Schmarin Schmones, probably.
No, it's not. It's not Schmarin Schmones. We'll see who Italian Stallion picked here. Italian Stallion, is that someone that we know? Is that someone from FantasyHolics? Is that a
nobody I know?
Not me.
It was probably
means he's a bum.
He's in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot because
Jamar Chase.
You either pick Jamar Chase or you got to pick one of the tier 2 running backs. So it's a tough call. That's why it was taking a while.
Man.
So out of the first 10 picks, we got 3 receivers, 7 running backs. Is that kind of like what you guys expected?
Yeah, I would say so.
Pretty close.
I would say just about that. I mean, you have like Nick Chubbs and Kamara and Swift. I don't think there's a lot of certainty surrounding Chubb with the Cleveland Browns, Kamara on that Saints offense, and the suspension. We don't know what's going on there, so that doesn't really surprise me.
Oh,
hey Johnny, don't pick yet. I got a question for both of you, real quick.
Okay.
In your queue right now, like you can see probably up to like 22, 23, where it's like Saquon and Aaron Jones. If you're looking at the whole field, who's one guy in this group that you can see on your screen right now that you absolutely would not touch with your next 2 picks?
Ooh, good question. So,
also don't let yourself time out, John, or is this my strategy? Not sure.
I would say, unpopular opinion, but Eckler. I'm not taking Eckler in the first round here.
Wow, he went 3 in this. Why is that? Just injury history, or is it just
the rate of 200-pound running backs making it in this league is awful? And I know he did it once, but they took Cook, and not that I'm a big fan of Cook either, but that's going to take away that receiving game from him. I'm just a little low on him. I'd rather go, if it's a wide receiver, any one of those 3 wide receivers there, or Austin Eckler in the first round, I'm going one of the wide receivers.
We got some. Why don't you go make your pick, John? But we got some comments in the actual in the draft here. We've got a question: Is Chubb a tier 2 back?
Is Chubb a tier 2 back? Listen, if there was just more certainty around Cleveland and what the hell is going on there, I would say he's tier 1. I'm someone, I don't like uncertainty in any way, shape, or form. I need to know exactly what the offense looks like, what it's going to look like. And I know Cleveland's going to end up running the football anyway. I mean, whether you had Baker Mayfield or whoever's going to be there this season, they're going to be a running team. But there's just so much turmoil there that he goes down to the second tier for me, at least. High second tier.
Fair. So Johnny just went with 2 decent receivers. They're okay. Devontae Adams.
John, what do you think? Devontae in Las Vegas. Obviously, you took him, so you think highly of him. But what numbers do you expect for him to put up this year?
Reception total. Reception is tough because of Derek Carr. He's got a little bit of a learning curve. You got the best route runner in the whole NFL with Devontae Adams. So target-wise, I wouldn't be surprised to see even 140 out of him with Waller and Renfro and Josh Jacobs catching the ball.
Wow.
I think you got to figure their division that they're playing into, they can't do anything but score points. They have to score points. So I'm pretty high on Adams. I think he's still got top 3 upside just with volume alone. Alone.
Interesting.
I'm surprised you passed up on Swift.
So I think the Detroit offense is a black hole. And I'd be fading a bunch of them unless I get something at super value. So if I was in your position at the end of the second, I might go Swift. But at the turn, I like going wide receivers and getting my points there, and I'll figure out running back later on.
I'm with you, man.
That's what you think when you have guys like me and Josh in the draft here.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We'll see.
So I'm up right now. Lucas asked earlier about Kamara's suspension, and that kind of does worry me. So I don't know if I want to take him here as my RB2. I'm a Giants fan, just so people know, and I think Saquon's uber talented, but I don't know if he's talented enough to take a chance here this year. I've been rewarded in the past taking some like Arian Foster whenever he had an injury history and everyone stayed away from him. And he slid to like the second and third rounds, like 2016, and that won me a lot of leagues. But I don't know if I'm
crushed that year.
Same thing with Saquon. Yeah, I had him in every league.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with someone whose name
rhymes with
Sharon Schromes.
Oh, really? Wow, that's interesting.
You know me too well, man. I freaking hate you.
I picked that 8 picks ago.
You did. Listen, Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have the weapons, quote unquote, that he used to have. I think there's going to be a lot of PPR points for Aaron Jones to go around. I'm behind him this year. I really am. I think his ADP is way too low. And if you listen to the Flex, which is my podcast with AJ, which is on the FantasyHolics podcast network, we talked about Aaron and we talked about the year that we think he's going to have. So that's a plug right there. If you guys aren't subscribed to the FantasyHolics podcast network, make sure you do so, because we have a lot of good pack highs on there. We have Seth Berger with Defense Wins Fantasy, which is a IDP podcast, and the Fat Boys Dynasty podcast with Bo and Brandt. They do a great job discussing Dynasty. So nice little plug there.
So yeah, good stuff there. While you were talking there, literally 2 of my least favorite players in this room. Remember, I asked you guys, who are people you wouldn't touch in this area. Well, 2 of them got drafted in a row, and that's Saquon Barkley and CeeDee Lamb. Saquon Barkley, like, dude, I people love him for his rookie year. He has Wentz vibes to me, and I'll tell you why. Carson Wentz was like forgiven for everything he had done. He was one of the only players where it wasn't like, what have you done for me lately? And until 2 seasons ago, Eagles fans still loved him for absolutely no reason. He hadn't done anything. And I'm feeling like Saquon has that same forgivability from the Giants fans and the fantasy community, where he had a great rookie season. No one's taken that away. He crushed it, but he hasn't done shit since then. And for some reason, people are still drafting him in the second round. It's ridiculous.
Well, okay, so listen, in defense of Saquon, he's insanely talented. I think the knock on him is so much more the offensive line in New York, which they've kind of, buttoned up a little bit this year, and his injury history. If you're going to tell me that you're going to have a full year of Saquon with a better offensive line and Daniel Jones is at least a little competent, I do think you can make the case for Saquon being a running back too.
And sure, his ceiling could be a running back too, and that's fine. But let's talk about dude, he played 13 games last year. That's for an NFL running back who gets that kind of quote unquote volume. That's a lot of games, right? Yeah. And I'm happy if my injury prone running back plays 13 games. That's cool, but I would be losing every single league if I drafted Saquon in the first 2 rounds last year. You absolutely have to hit every single pick. The guy, what did he finish? He finished somewhere in the 30s, running back 30.
Yeah,
it's not okay, and he had 4 touchdowns in 13 games. It's ridiculous.
That's another one.
Shout out to Josh Reese, who just said Aaron Jones should do well this year. I feel, Josh, there's something about you. I don't know what it is. Might be the name. Same page, buddy. Same page.
So now
we got Josh Allen. Our first quarterback's off the board. Josh Allen.
First quarterback.
Yep.
Derek G going QB1 in the second round.
I mean, if there's one to take, it's him. I would rather take Josh Allen than take Barkley or CeeDee Lamb. I feel like those guys are just never going to put up the numbers you want them to. Real quick, while I'm on the clock here, I'm going to just talk about the fact that Javonte Williams is still sitting here, and it's weird for me because John, Josh, we've been doing a lot of dynasty drafts, and Javonte Williams doesn't make it past 6 in dynasty drafts, maybe 10 in Superflex drafts. So it's weird to see him here, but still, he's going to be splitting carries with Melvin Gordon this year. I am not touching him if I'm trying to win this year. Somebody who's got a year left for me, who I feel like he's a way better pick than half of these guys that have been taken in the first round or in the second round. It's that man, Leonard Fournette, man. He's catching all the passes from Brady, bro. He was the RB6 last year in most formats. He's going to catch a ton of passes. And he's got really, I mean, like Rashad White came in, cool. Do we really think he's going to take over for Leonard Fournette in year one? The answer is no. Redrafts, give me Leonard Fournette as my RB2 all day.
Man, I'm with you. I hate being with you because I don't like agreeing with you in fantasy in any aspect, but you're right. I love what you did so far.
You don't like winning.
Nah, I mean, well, you know your stuff, so I can't deny that. Yeah, man. Getting Fournette at the back end of the second round, I think that's a good look for you.
As the running back 13, that's wild.
Yeah,
good find.
Yeah, I think that's like disgustingly, undervalued. You got guys like Kamara, who's going to not play half the season. Saquon, Chubb, who's like really, and he's truly splitting, but he's still like the best split carry running back. Guys like injury prone that you would call guys like McCaffrey, maybe Dalvin Cook, guys like that. Leonard Fournette falling to pick 23 is a gift.
Yeah, pretty good.
Mike is still on the clock. Mike is taking his sweet ass time. There we go.
Herbie,
peer pressure there. Wow.
I think Mike's stuck in his super flex ways right now. He might go with the second quarterback and not realize this is a one quarterback league. I hope Mike's listening right now too. What do we think he goes here? Do you think he's going like a Debo or AJ Brown?
I think
Mike Evans.
I think he goes a wide receiver here.
He's a Mike Evans guy.
I would.
Yeah.
He's also a Keenan guy. Keenan stack right here. I could see it.
Oh, Keenan Herbert stack.
He could do it. I can see it.
In a good spot to play hero running back right now. The best
word from Mike. Mike is my my brother-in-law. Word from Mike. His girlfriend's drafting for him. Completely thrown off now. I have no clue what's going to happen.
His girlfriend's name is Sarita. She's also a Giants fan, so look for her to take Kenny Golladay here in the third round.
Yeah. She's probably pissed that Saquon's off the board.
She's pissed Saquon's out.
She's mad. I'm
waiting for Tony in the fourth.
Yeah. Oh, Sarita. I could also. I'm not going to say, but while she's on the clock or he's on the clock, whoever's picking in that household right now, I am looking at, no matter who they take, I'm going to be taking my third running back, and that was one of them. Zeke Elliott. That was one of them, which means I'm forced into this pick right here. And again, it's not Javonte Williams.
Is it ever good when you're forced into your third round pick?
Oh no, I'm not forced into it. I was, it was one of two guys, and it was always going to be one of those two. Zeke might have been the front runner, but this is another way undervalued guy that people somehow they just sleep on him every year. I don't understand it.
No.
So again, I'm going to shout out Flex because he was on our undervalued list, but I will admit the reason why he was on the undervalued list was mostly because of AJ. So explain why you think he's a little undervalued, because it's not so much of a sell for me, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Why I think? Well, I just got a text from one of these other guys saying "bastard," my boy Monty. So he was looking to get Monty. And look, I mean, I think there's guys who either love Monty or hate him, and it's maybe kind of like a Saquon situation, except he doesn't suck. And Monty, he's just put up numbers the last couple of years. He finished 2 seasons ago, 2020, as strong as anybody. He was the running back.
Yeah, he was the best running back the last 5 weeks of the season.
Right, and he finished as running back 4, right? And that was when he was splitting carries to start the season and everything. Last season, he was crushing it. He got hurt. It was an unfortunate injury. And he was doing all this with Matt Nagy as his coach. Josh, me and you text each other every single week, what the fuck is Nagy doing? What is he doing? We hate Nagy.
Right.
And I'm looking for Monty to get a whole lot more work inside the 10, inside the 5. Maybe he'll even get touches inside the 1 for once, because Nagy would run some weird, stupid Philly special on the 1.
All right. Well, I listen. If that's your reasoning, he's your flex right now. So it's not like you're taking him as your RB1. So as your flex, I support your decision.
Well, hang on. John says he's not sold right now.
Not sold.
Let's hear the other side.
So he is sturdy. He's sturdy, and I don't mind him as a RB3 for sure. That's a great move as your RB3. But in the third round, his points per game aren't that high, but he's going to play almost every game of the season. So sturdy for sure. I don't like his points per game though. And I don't want to turn my camera off to check, but because I don't have it in front of me, but I know it's not as high of an upside as you want point per game.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at it from these settings right here, he finished as running back 19 last year. How many running backs have been taken? 3, 6, 9,
That's
12.
what I'm saying.
He was the 15th running back taken, okay? So he finished as running back 19, but he only played 13 games too. Like, to put it into, like a quick comparison, Saquon Barkley played 13 games, and he finished as running back 34. So I'm taking the guy who finishes inside the top 20 while only playing 3/4 of the season as my running back 3 every single day. And if I went wide receiver, something like that, and I was sitting here where Monty is available in the 3rd round, I don't care where it is. I'm taking the guy. I feel great about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of taking a 3rd running back, I just took Cam Akers as my flex. And shout out to the Fat Boys Dynasty podcast. They had him outside of their top 15 in Dynasty, which blew my mind. They know Dynasty way better than I do, but I'm really high on Cam. Not so much because of his ability. He came back from an injury. He was decent last year from what I remember. But I mean, just having a running back in that offense to me is like, I know skill matters. I know all that matters. But if you are on an offense that's going to score touchdowns and get into the red zone, like, it's invaluable to have that player, to have him as the flex. I don't see why anybody wouldn't take Cam Akers in the 3rd round. To me, it's baffling.
So, Josh, no surprise that the only 2 people who went running back are you and I. We've done enough of these together to know that's going to happen. We got our first rookie off the board, though.
Ooh, good looks.
The New York Jet, Breece Hall. Now, kids,
18th running back off the board.
What are your expectations for him? I mean, he's going to be sharing the backfield with Michael Carter. It's not like he hasn't.
It's really funny because I am a Jets fan. I'm also a Breece Hall fan, and I was coming out. I was really excited. I had the first pick in a couple leagues after making some trades, not because I earned it. After making trades, I had the first pick in a couple leagues, and I knew I was taking Breece Hall. And it was funny. I was saying, like, even before he was drafted by the Jets, I was just gonna like start the draft because I'm the commissioner in these leagues. I was gonna start the draft and just have him on my team, right? Because that's who I am. But when he got drafted by the Jets, it felt really weird. It felt like Michael Carter was betrayed. I own Michael Carter in these leagues, and I felt like he was going to break out and everything. But now with Breece there, I don't really know what to expect. I think that I'm going to expect good things because, like, hey, he's a good player. But it's always weird. And I was talking to another one of our members, Genius Christ, who's a Jets fan too. It feels weird getting cool new toys because, like, the Jets we generally just can't have nice things. Right. They get hurt, they get suspended, they do dumb shit, and then we don't have them anymore. So it just kind of still feels weird to have like a guy like Breece Hall who's so highly touted, and especially getting him in the 2nd round, 34th or something. It's cool. Who knows?
All right, John just went Josh Jacobs and Cortland Sutton. Why Jacobs?
As I made my pick, I had one of the FantasyHolics messaging me saying how I wasn't going to get Cortland Sutton if I didn't take him. Then here I am.
Who told you that?
What's that?
Who told you that?
That was Lucas.
Oh, Lucas.
Yeah. Jacobs, same reason as Montgomery. It's my RB1 now. I want somebody sturdy who's going to be able to play almost every single game. And in redraft, I really like Jacobs this year. He still catches balls. Drake isn't as good as everybody thinks he is. For some reason, people have this misconception that he played way more snaps than he actually did last season. So I'm high on Jacobs redraft-wise. But Sutton, the pick is Sutton. That dude is going to ball this year.
Yeah.
Is he going to be your like Metcalf or your Lockett? Like, what do you think his role is going to be with Russ?
I think he's going to be the alpha. I know you can see on the ADP now that Sutton surpassed Judy, and that's exactly what it should be. He's definitely the alpha. He's the outside guy. Russ is one of the best deep ball throwers in the league. Cortland Sutton is going to eat this year. I wouldn't be surprised 12 touchdowns out of that guy this year.
Wow.
Dude's going to eat.
Throw that on our bold predictions post, take. And we'll have that up tomorrow.
We'll
John,
see.
What do you think of
Lucas? Get me a graphic.
Jerry Judy? What do you think of Jerry Judy outside? And obviously you said Sutton's going to be the alpha there, but do you think Judy feasts as well?
Well, so I go back to Russ, and Russ is able to sustain two wide receiver ones for as long as Metcalf and Lockett were together.
Yeah.
And then if you go back a little bit further, he had
Josh. Before you pick, I know who it is, so just hang on.
I don't think you do. I don't think
Kyle
you know who it
Pitts.
is.
Go ahead.
Not.
Oh
wrong.
shit! All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I'm getting at is Russ can feed two wide receivers. Even last year, everybody thought Metcalf had a bad year. He was still a wide receiver one. Judy, he's got a lot to prove this year. Coming off of an injury, he looked like he was doing well. His role, I feel like, is going to be more of a slot guy, but he's able to play the outside too. That offense is going to be tough to stop. You got Patrick Hamler. You got a very good wide receiver core. It's got to be one of the best in the league now, at least top 10. It's got to be up there.
Lucas.
Hot take from Lucas. Tim Patrick will outscore Judy this year. That's a hot take. I don't know about all that. But Genius said the same thing. Genius said the same exact thing. This is the second time we've heard that. That's crazy. And then while we were discussing the Broncos wide receiver core, we had three running tight ends go back to back. Kittle, Waller, Pitts.
Wow.
I went Kittle to me. He's an absolute beast. I mean, obviously you have the injury history in the 49ers offense. I just had a whole soliloquy about uncertainty and not knowing what you're getting. And obviously with Jimmy G and the Trey Lance situation there, I feel like, I don't know. I'm going to be a little bit hypocritical here. I love Kittle. I think he's probably the second best tight end in the league. I put him right after Kelsey, in my opinion. And if I can grab him in the fourth round, I think that value is just too good to pass up.
Josh, let me ask you a question. You can see yourself next to Italian Stallion here, and obviously, like what you're seeing is all that green. You see, you went 3 running backs and then a tight end. He went Chase and then 3 running backs. If you were to just like shift his up a second and compare his 3 running backs to yours, obviously the other 2 players on your teams are Chase and Kittle, where he wins by a mile. How do you think you stack up in the running back room compared to Italian Stallion, who kind of went with your same strategy, but just a round later?
That's a great question. I'm high in ETN this year. I think that's a great pick by Italian Stallion, so that helps his case out a lot. I mean, that's a good point. I see what you're saying here. I think my running back core is probably better, but I wouldn't say by as much as I would want it to be taking my first 3 picks at running back, if that makes any sense.
So how do you feel stacked up against Italian Stallion right now?
I mean, I think we're pretty even. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Going into the season.
Fair. And I mean, you did take those running backs. I know you like all 3 of them, but just seeing, the guy
chat
next
can
to
let
you.
us know. Chat, let us know who you like better so far after 4 rounds.
We've got the rivalry.
I'm NWTJC. It stands for not with these Jamaican colors. Don't ask. And Italian Stallion. So the chat can let us know who they like better.
Interesting. I'm gonna say that the chat is gonna go with they're gonna go with Italian Stallion. I think Chase is just such a popular player. Kittle's not really. And then if you're looking at the 3 running backs, I think they're pretty damn close.
And then also like the tight end position, like for instance, like it's not as sexy as the wide receiver position, and he obviously has someone who has the potential to be the wide receiver 1 this year. It's not as sexy as someone has the potential to be the tight end 1. So and again, I'm someone who I'm confident in my ability to find wide receivers late in the draft, and that's why I do this. That's just me, but I could understand why someone will look at Italian's team and say that it's better than mine. I mean, I like his team a lot.
That's good. I have an interesting spot here. Right now, I got my 3 running backs locked up. Obviously, if I were to take a 4th running back, it's not in my starting lineup. If this was a real league right now, I'm taking a 4th running back. It's probably not going to be Gibson.
Is that just like trade strategy? Is that what it is?
I'm a trader, man. I
know.
If I go in there and if I feel like somebody who like Eat Your Wheaties or John or PMax 83, like these guys, Laddie Daddy, like all these guys, they have 1 running back right now, LC Shepard, and his isn't even playing. Like if I got a 4th running back, I think I can maybe get like my running back for Mike Evans or something like that. And I'm basically trading up at that point. Right now it's pretty interesting because you got a guy like Patrick Mahomes on, still available there. If this is a 6-point passing touchdown league, I have no problem taking him, but there's too much talent around for me to take a quarterback right now. And I got to be honest, guys, I really don't like any of these wide receivers right here. I really, really don't.
Yeah, so why grab someone you don't like? You grab for value here. I love that.
So my value pick, shit, I'm kind of in a dilemma here. I don't like any of these receivers. The tight ends, I'm not a big fan of Hawkinson. We had a big debate in our FantasyHolics chat today about Hawkinson. I was way against it. We were picking for the Scott Fishbowl League, and I was very adamant against Hawkinson in the 5th or 6th round or something. I think right here, based on pressure, I'm going to go with the best value pick, and I think it is Mahomes, just because I don't like any of these other guys. I have a lot of wide receivers on my list that I can find later. You know, maybe I do go with a 4th running back after this too, because really these receivers are just not the ones on my list right now. I'm either going with a receiver next, or I'm going to go with my 4th running back and talk about, like, you know, trading one of these guys up.
I like that.
I got a question for you. So I struggle with this when I'm on the turn a lot, either the 1-2 spot or the 11-12 spot. Do you find yourself more apt to look down the draft board because you know you're not going to be able to get, say your pick, whatever it is, 30 overall, and you're looking at like 45 overall? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what you're saying is just like looking to see who's not going to be there at your next turn, right? It's a necessary strategy in my opinion when you're at these, like, you know, top 3 picks or like back 3 picks, because you have to figure out some kind of way to get your guys, right? And if your guys are a little bit lower, well, in these situations, you got to reach for them. With you
get who you want. You got to get who you want.
You got to get who you want.
Yeah. If you're high on somebody and you know they're not going to be there on the way back, you got to get them. You have to. Or else you're going to be stuck, you know, playing this game of like, well, this person has value, even though I don't really like them, and you're not going to be happy with your team. I am someone who advocates for reach the hell out of whoever. Like, if you have someone in mind who is a sleeper, if you have someone in mind who thinks in a kill, go get them. Doesn't matter what their ADP is, just go get them.
Absolutely. Realizing that that Blaze that 50 has a quarterback already. Mahomes was a bad pick there. A little bit of pressure talking while I'm up, but you know, I could have gotten Mahomes there. Luckily, like
but Judy or Hawkinson, you wouldn't have one with either one of them.
So I wouldn't have wanted a single one of them. There's 2 people I'm considering right now. It's somebody who I would be totally fine with being my wide receiver 1. He was like a top 12 receiver last year. And then the other one is a tight end, and I think I'm probably
Renfro.
No, that's a little later. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that wide receiver. Mike Williams was a top like 2 or 3 wide receiver for most of the season last year. People think he's injury prone. He's not. The guy, he plays every game. He gets hurt and he comes back a quarter later. He's tough, man. Of course I know you wanted him.
I hate you, bro. Damn.
Good pick.
Vidal said, damn, I missed the beginning. It's all good, man. We had the draft board up here so you can see our picks. And we're going to be doing more live mock drafts going forward. So definitely catch the next one. We'll probably promote it a little better or a little earlier, a few days in advance. So you see that. Josh Boat Shipley says Cooks, who hasn't been picked yet. I want to get your thoughts on him because he's somebody who I see a lot of people calling a sleeper this year. So what are your thoughts on him?
Johnny, go ahead.
For some reason, he's always a sleeper. People just count this dude up all the time. It's wild.
To me, he's like that Julian Edelman, Wes Welker kind of guy where it's just like somehow this guy gets drafted in the 5th or 6th round every year. And then suddenly, oh, shocker, he's a top 15 receiver again, right? Meanwhile, you got guys like CeeDee Lamb drafted in the 1st and 2nd round who end up being like wide receiver 18 playing every single game, right?
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz was my other guy I was talking about.
Everybody loves Dalton. Everybody's on Dalton this year, man.
The only scary thing is his contract right now. A lot of disputing going on with his contract.
He's going to get paid. He's going to play.
I got Ferguson as a deep sleeper right now.
But again, that's a rookie tight end.
I get it, but if he don't play, what's that depth shot? Jawin's gone.
You don't think they bring somebody else in or just, you know, don't really use the tight end in the passing game that much?
I don't think they're going to have a choice without Gallup there on the field in the beginning, and their wide receiver 3 is already
Tolbert.
Tolbert. So
they got James Washington. People sleep on James Washington. For some reason, he's going home. Like, he's from the area. He's, the only issue right now with James Washington. Listen, James Washington is a baller, and he didn't get the love and respect. Oh man, wait till you see James Washington. The only issue right now is that he's not playing.
What are you expecting from him this year?
I'm expecting a decent season. I'm expecting like him to fill a Cedric Wilson role. Cedric Wilson had a really good season for where he was drafted in fantasy for his usage. Okay. So I think James Washington can be that. And if you have like those Gallup injuries and stuff like that, James Washington has always been a guy that when he gets the volume, he plays well. I think the only issue is he's not in camp right now. He had a little injury, and I can really see him stepping up there, like being that mid-season pickup that you can flex on some bye weeks when everyone's injured and all that. Like, he could be a mid-season hero.
All right, so
I think in the beginning he has a chance to make a real impact, and that's what you should be looking for with your wide receivers that you're picking up in these late rounds. Is guys that have high ceilings for no reason. They're going to score you 4 points, or they're going to score you 20.
Boom or bust, baby. Boom or bust.
This is kind of crazy having Gibson, Dobbins, these guys going in the 5th round. These were guys Sanders sucks, but these were guys that were going in the 2nd round last year. Granted, like, Dobbins got hurt, but and Gibson got a running back behind him. I think a lot of people are afraid of him.
I will never trust Antonio Gibson ever again. Ever.
Good, he's still on your keeper team. I'll take him.
Scarred for life. I'm trying to get rid of him everywhere. Shout out to Mike.
I sent you some offers. You still haven't taken it.
I'm being patient.
Who do you think Dave goes here?
I think Dave goes.
He's a receiver.
Ooh.
No.
Let me see who's on the board. But Dave's not afraid to reach with quarterback here, but I think he'll wait a little bit. Oh, you were right.
Tyler,
yeah.
Where do you go?
Bold strategy.
Yeah.
All right, so since you guessed 3 out of the 4 picks of mine, I want to see if you can get this one.
Me?
Yeah. What do you think I'm going with here?
Oh, this is easy, bro.
Who?
Allen Robinson. Or is it Cook?
Damn.
It's Allen Robinson, isn't it? Josh, just know,
man, I hate you, bro.
If you ever have a draft scheduled and you like have a prior commitment, just fill me in. I got you, bro. I'll draft.
Honestly,
exactly
I might
the way
just
you
hand
want.
it to you. I don't even have to give you notes. It's just like what I want. Go get it. It's crazy.
And listen, I got 3 out of 4, but like that 3rd out of 4, or that 4th one, I said Pitts and you took Kittle. Like, I knew the position; it was pretty damn close.
Right,
and you wouldn't have been upset with Pitts.
No, I wouldn't have been upset, but I reached for Pitts last year.
Sure.
Not doing it again this year. Even though he had a decent season, it wasn't like he was bad. It just wasn't what I was expecting. And what it came down to it was either him or Mark Andrews, and I obviously made the wrong choice there.
So if Kittle wasn't there at your last pick, who are you taking?
That I don't know.
I really
didn't like any of the wide receivers on the board. The one that I
know exactly who it is.
I might have went Mike Williams, but that would have been really early.
You go Kyle Pitts.
I might. You think so?
Oh, 100% you do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of somebody knowing somebody better than themselves.
We'll never know. We'll never know. We'll never know.
I'm in trouble right now. Can't get back into the draft, boys.
No, that's not good.
You're done.
I got enough, I guess, to figure it out, but it's not.
I can commissioner edit your picks here, so tell me who you want.
I can't even look
up yet. We'll see.
He's up next.
All right.
Well, he's up now. Elijah Mitchell just went. So, I mean, Josh, you can pull up some players there.
What position you want to look for, John?
Give me available.
You got Burrow and Kyler?
Nah. What you got for wide receivers on the board?
Cooper, Godwin, Hollywood Brown, Michael Thomas, Cooks, St. Brown, Hopkins, Mooney, Thielen, Juju, and Drake London. I think that should give you a good list.
Yeah, that's good. And then running backs?
Running backs, we're looking at CEH, Harris, Dillon, Walker, Kareem Hunt, Patterson, who's now only running back eligible, Tony Pollard, Singletary. What are you thinking, my man?
Boy, tough call. I really like Dillon this year. I've been able to scoop him up at the turn late.
You took him in our dynasty league, didn't you?
I did.
Took him in like the 6th round.
I did. I think he's going to get most of the goal line carries.
You got 50 seconds.
I guess you talked me into it. I'll take Dylan there.
All right, and who's your next one?
And then...
You already have three receivers, 2 running backs, so your flex is full.
Yeah.
Your starting positions, you've got a quarterback and a tight end left, but are you stacking some bench?
What
will you do?
Give me the old Joey Buckets, dude. Give me
For
the
reference, you want there. Joey Bosa, right?
Yep.
Joey Bosa.
Nailed it.
Josh said go Hollywood. Josh Boat Shipley would suggest Hollywood Brown. He's somebody who's very interesting because, he's going to be the wide receiver 1 there for the first 6 weeks of the season before Hop gets back. And, I'm not too high on him the whole season, but I do think you can make a case where you draft him, get whatever you get from him out of 6 weeks, and then you trade him, sell high on him. I think there's some value there for him. But
if you've listened to the flex, you've heard this exact monologue.
The same exact take. Yep. I'm just regurgitating flex narratives. That's all I'm doing.
Everybody go tune into the show again. If you're drafting against Josh in any league, tune into the flex. You got his whole. Hey Josh, what receiver are you going here? Wait, let me see. Uh-oh. Now my draft is paused.
Is it?
That could be trouble as the commish. Let me take my Wi-Fi off.
Usually if you close the app and open it up again, it shows up, but it's not for me.
I'm in there. Yeah, we just don't like you.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you're from Boston.
My team is too good. Scary. Be careful.
Josh, this is a weird spot. I don't really see anybody that you like here. There's a couple. There's a couple. Yeah, I mean, like, if you have the opportunity to take Kyler Murray in the 6th round, I think that's a really solid pick. I don't think that's your style, though.
It's not.
No, I know. Listen, I know. You might go Mooney just because me and Amir have been talking about him that much, but you're not going to do that. My guess is you're going with Thielen.
Thielen's an option, but he's not my first option.
Okay, not your first option. Interesting. You got a tight end. Juju? Ew. I'm not sure where you go here. You reaching?
Okay. No, I'm not reaching.
Oh, I know where you're going. You're going with the dude you haven't accepted a trade for from me in a few days.
No, I'm not actually. No, I'm not. No? I'm not.
All right. Well, he's going to fall to me, so I'm not going to say shit about that yet. But that's who I'm looking to get.
He's not coming back to me, is he?
All right. He's not. He's definitely not coming back to you, but he might be. He's going to be there for you right now. There goes my Hollywood.
I'm not going to take him here.
Interesting. Who you going, Josh?
So for me, I like, again, my wide receivers. It's 2-part. Like, if you don't have a good quarterback, I'm not effing with you. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how talented you are. It's just I like Mooney. I think Mooney's extremely talented. I'm not saying Justin Fields isn't good. I don't know what Justin Fields is. Therefore, I'm not trusting you in my starting lineup. With that said, this guy's quarterback's pretty good.
Yeah, but he's not playing for half the season.
No, we don't know that yet. And also, when he comes back, I'll have a solid wide receiver 2, possibly wide receiver 1, and then on top of that, I like a bunch of receivers on the back end anyway, so I don't mind having him on IR for a little bit. I like the value here, so I go here.
All right, so we got a little bit of a gap between.
What is the latest on Godwin? You said we do know that. What is the latest on him?
He's gonna miss a few weeks. What did we say? Up to 6, something like that.
See what Patrick just said. Godwin might be ready week 1. That's what I thought too. That's the last I heard.
They're pushing for that, but that's all you're gonna hear. And beat reporters talking.
Well,
it says they're hopeful, but let's think about this. Like, you've got Tom Brady, you got like an older coaching staff. Like, Bruce Arians is still involved and everything.
I missed the first couple of weeks. That's okay.
My point is, like, with a staff that's like a little bit more mature and not like forcing themselves to win week 1. I can totally see them just resting him for a little bit, especially if they win a couple of games in the beginning of the season. I can completely see it. I can see it based on the schedule. I don't think that the Bucs are in any rush to get Godwin back for week 1. by any means.
We'll see.
You got Moss. Love the pick. Gabe Davis. It's another one of my dudes right there.
So it seems a little early, though.
Yeah, it is kind of early for me. But
If
you like him, you'll get him. Don't blame him for that.
John.
Yeah.
Pick me a team right now that you can see contending for like a fantasy championship through 6 rounds.
All right. Let's see here.
Josh, same thing. And then give me one that you think right here is just complete trash.
I got to go with Shepard's is trash.
Shepard's trash. He's got Cooper Kupp, Kamara out half the season, old man Mike Evans catching 1-yard touchdowns all season long, DJ Moore with his new quarterback and Jalen Hurts.
I don't
hate it.
He's got no running backs, though.
No, he doesn't have a running back. But
it feels like a team that would be a fringe playoff team where if he makes it in, he might have an actual shot because his team's finally coming around.
I mean, does he go Kareem Hunt here? Does he go with like Patterson, Tony Pollard? I think he's a fan of Pollard.
He's gonna two that are gonna play. So I'd go Pollard and Hunt. That don't sound too bad, but it's got to come back around to him, I guess.
Josh, do you see a good team and a bad team here?
I don't know if I see a bad team.
You did go with Kareem
Hunt. Who don't I like here? I don't know if I like Dave's team, if I'm being honest with you.
I think Dave, I'm sorry, I love you, but I don't like your team right now. I agree with you.
Yeah, AJ Brown in Philly, I like Hurts. I don't know how he's gonna do there. I don't know if he's gonna be consistent enough. And DK Metcalf just left for Russell Wilson. I'm not comfortable starting him as my wide receiver too. Darren Waller, you have the acquisition of Devontae Adams now, so I still think he's gonna be a solid tight end. But there's just too many question marks on Dave's team for me to actually fully like it. Sorry, Dave.
and with
Sonic for those Sonic, that's who I'm talking about for those who are watching.
Yeah, and Dave, like, he's got a squad that, like, if they play to their potential, he's got a good squad, right? But he's got, like, first of all, for me, it's whoever took Saquon Barkley in the first 3 rounds, I was just simply not going to like their team. They could have all my other favorite players, but if they took Saquon Barkley, I was straight up. I'm very vocal about it. I'm sure I'm going to get blown up with text the first time he scores a touchdown this season, which might be in week 14. But, like, Saquon ruins it for me. Waller, Metcalf, Brown, like, these are all guys that were good. I think they took a step back. CEH, they all took a step back this season. Yeah, and I could be totally wrong. They could all play up to their potential. And if they do, he's got a decent team here. But if I'm just looking like eye test right now, I'm looking at Dave's team and I'm like, Dave, you're better than that.
It's funny because we were comparing my team to Italian Stallion. I think I like his team a lot. I'm just looking at it here. Deontay Johnson, to me, that's kind of iffy just because of the quarterback situation there. But I think getting Hollywood on the back end kind of made up for it. And I'm just kind of visualizing what his starting lineup would look like. And it is a little scary to me. Kizzo, I love your team, Great White Buffalo. I hate to say that. I hate giving you credit at anything fantasy football like your team. I don't like your team too.
I got a strategy real quick that I want to discuss with you guys. So I have Mike Williams as my wide receiver 1. And right now, like, I'm assuming Blaze is not watching this right now. But I have 2 guys that I really like here, and that's Brandon Cooks, and I really like Hunter Renfrow. And I can totally just go with those guys. But then I'm looking down the list here, and I see DeAndre Hopkins, who's out for 6 games, right? And if I take him right here, and then I go with like a guy like Renfrow or Cooks as my next pick, I'm really happy with that, like, outcome.
Love it.
I'm gonna give that a shot, and people are gonna hate me for it because, like, in my wide receiver 2 spot right now, it's gonna look like DeAndre Hopkins, but it's really not it. My wide receiver 2 right now is going to be either Brandon Cooks or Renfrow, who I would totally be cool having.
Pending
right
if Mike
Hopkins,
doesn't go both.
He's not going to go Mike. And if he does, then that's okay. It would be funny if he just went like, if he's listening right now, I guarantee you he'll do it. If he's listening, he's 100% going to do it.
That'd be hilarious.
Which is okay. Then I take Dallas Goedert, and I'm okay with my tight end. I'm okay. Either way, I think this is a good
plan A, plan B, plan C. Gotta love it.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, we're good to go. And that's one of the benefits. That's also one of the benefits of drafting in this, like, number 2 slot or the number 11 slot is, like, you're kind of like you're drafting against the whole board and you're, like, on your own side, but then you have your strategy against that one guy that's like after you, right? So I know, like, when I was taking Mahomes, if I wasn't talking, my brain would say, like, hey, I don't need to take Patrick Mahomes right now. I'm going to get him in the 5th round instead of the 4th, and I can take the guy I want right now. If there was a guy I really wanted in the 4th round, I would have absolutely done that. But, no need, and I would never touch Judy or Hockenson in the 4th or 5th round there.
And I wouldn't touch Amari Cooper either.
No, I would not.
I am not touching at all. This situation in Cleveland again. It's like the 4th time I'm bringing it up, but
no. If Watson plays this year, we're let's say Watson right now. They said he's going to play 17 games if he's healthy. Where does he go on this draft board?
Cooper.
I guarantee you it's not. I guarantee you it's not the last pick of the 6th round. Yeah, what round?
3rd round. He's probably
I'd be in the 4th. He'd be all the way in the 4th.
So then, is it kind of like a pick like Hopkins, where you're like, okay, I like another receiver here.
I don't know, man.
Them going as my 2 with that upside.
I guess.
Do you know where you make that pick, Josh? You make that pick in a league like the Mega League, where it's like you have to do something special to win this gigantic league. For those of you who don't know, the Mega League was a 96-team league, similar to the Scott Fishbowl. I ran it for 9 years. It's retired. It's done now. But that's a type of league where if you have to do something special, like in the Scott Fishbowl, in order to set yourself aside or apart from somebody, you got to kind of take a chance like that on a guy who's still sitting there in the 6th round, who's talented enough to, as Josh said, be taken in the 3rd round. The only reason he's here in the 6th round is because we don't know what the hell's going on with Deshaun Watson, right? We had a new report every day. So, guys, my strategy worked. Like, my 2 guys are here.
Beautifully.
Yeah. And I'm going to go with the guy that I think is going to get all those targets in Oakland or Las Vegas. I don't see him stopping. Him and Derek Carr together, fantastic, especially in a PPR league. Dude, I am thrilled to have Hunter Renfrow in the 7th round. He was the wide receiver 11 last year.
Where's Lucas? Lucas, where you at?
Who you were on. I'll look at Dave talking trash to us. You guys didn't like my picks in Meg League either. True. And Will scoreboard. Actually, it's not true because Dave had 2 teams, and in my league, I beat Dave, and Dave didn't make the playoffs. So no.
I think what he's referring to is the year he was like 4-0, and said like he had that whole thing on the Mega League podcast, and then bounced in the playoffs. I don't know, Dave.
But shout out to Dave. I love Dave.
Bring it to us.
Dave's a good friend. He's a good dude.
We all love Dave.
You guys try sending me that link again for the draft.
Everybody loves Dave. Yeah, you can't click on it.
He goes, fair, Josh, fair. That's true. Let's admit it here. But nah, Dave. Mad respect to Dave. Love
my sleeper.
Yeah, let me see if I can get that over for you. So we got Lucas on the clock. Did you fill out his tight end here, or what are we thinking?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
you're going to pair Hurts?
Gotta go
Patterson. Lucas is in the chat. So, Lucas, if you can explain the Patterson pick to me. Patterson saved me in a few leagues last year. He was arguably like my fantasy MVP, but now that he doesn't have the wide receiver assignment, I guess the value in the 7th round is good. But do you think he's going to have the same role at the running back position going forward? Because to me, it seems more like a flash in the pan than it was, his role going forward. Which I have no proof of. That's just a gut feeling.
All right, I'm back. Thank you. It worked.
You're back.
You got it. It looks like, Josh, nobody filled that spot. They got Tyler Algier and
I know, but
Damian
you're going to
Williams.
give Cordell Patterson 20 carries. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
I don't think they gave him that many carries.
Do you think they're going to line him up in the slot again? You think it's going to be the same thing? And then,
sure, why not?
Like, honestly, like if I'm Lucas and I'm drafting Cordell Patterson, to me, I'm like, well, he might be running back right now, but by like week 4, when they see he's lining up in the slot again, they might change it back, and that might be incredible about value there.
Italian Stallion he was eyeing up Amon-Ra St. Brown, who just went to Laddie Daddy-O. Italian Stallion's got a really nice squad.
Yeah, he does.
I think that's the one I'm looking at that I'm like, all right, I fuck with it. Yeah, that's a good squad.
I like you got Moss right now. I know you're not high on Lamb.
I'm not even a little bit, but I do like. I'm not very high on Dobbins either. I just he's not going to get the touches you want out of your running back too. But in the 5th round, maybe that's okay. I can see why you like that team, but there's a couple players like Lamb. Pitts in the 4th round and Dobbins. I think even Gabriel Davis, who I'm a big fan of, I think he went too early. There's a bunch of other guys that are going to have better fantasy seasons and should have better fantasy seasons that are right behind them.
I'm trying to pull up my draft too. My draft just gave out on me.
Just click that link I just sent to you guys in the Facebook chat. Dave's up right now. Let's see what Dave does when he has the pressure.
All right, Dave,
like,
what are you
he's
doing?
like feeling like, all right, these
guys. Oh, Dave!
He just sniped your ass. All right, Dave. Josh likes your team now, bro.
All right, let's see who I want now. God damn it, Dave.
Josh of old goes Michael Thomas right here, but I think that your ship has sailed with him. But I know who you're taking right now.
Well, it's interesting because I don't even know who I'm taking right now.
I do. When you figure it out, you just say I got it, and I'll tell you who it is.
Oh, Dave. I don't like anyone here, man. This might be.
Yes, you do. You do.
This might be something where I kind of did what you did with Mahomes, where you just went with him because the value.
Interesting. What are you thinking? Brady, Prescott, Russ?
You are so right, by the way, about old Josh would have went Michael Thomas. I actually might go Michael Thomas if I go Godwin.
But I know exactly who you're taking here.
I don't think you do.
For some reason, you're missing him. His name rhymes with Shmoney Schmollard.
I hate you so fucking much, bro.
Damn, bro, I'm crushing your draft.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Nah, yeah. I like here. I wanted to grab another wide receiver just because I wait on wide receiver late. I think I was the last person to take a wide receiver. No, you were. But I was the second last person to take a wide receiver, so I want to stack up as
you were last. You were last.
Was it? Oh, yeah, we're back around. Yeah, so I was the last person to take a wide receiver there. So, yeah, I'm kind of mad at Dave right now. Dave did that to me last year with Stafford too.
I can tell you who Dave's gonna pick next too. We can do like a little 1, 2, 3 action when it gets there.
Ryan says the bromance is real. Yes, Ryan, it is. You have no idea.
You have no idea. No idea.
It's ridiculous.
I'll tell you this right now. Yeah. My wife is sitting next to me, but in my phone, my speed dial, Josh is not speed dial, like my favorites, Josh is number 1, my wife is number 2. So yes, the bromance is real. It is.
Take that, Vicky.
Yep.
All right, I'm like third choice for everything. My son, my husband.
All right, so where are we going with P-Max here? So I can see him picking a quarterback in one of these next 2 picks.
I feel like he's going wide receiver.
He'll probably go wide receiver here than quarterback. That's what I'm guessing. John, what do you think?
He doesn't need to take a quarterback while John's there.
Michael Thomas. I like that pick.
Well,
I like that pick.
I don't know. I'm a little torn. I really like Chase Edmonds here.
Can I tell you I really hate Chase Edmonds here?
Well, he's no Myles Gaskin, but
love me Myles.
They gave him a lot of money, and he's going to be the main ball carrier there. And I still do need another running back, so that's why I'm thinking Chase.
Well, you can take him. I will not be upset with that pick because it will leave more players for me.
I really like Rashad Penny this year too. Really like him.
Me and Josh are sitting here silent. We're like, yeah, go ahead, bro. You got this.
Go take him. Why do you like Penny this year? Is it just because
how he finished last year?
They've kept him on the team.
Walker doesn't scare you though. He doesn't scare you a little.
No, he doesn't. No. Not year one. I think redraft. Penny is going to be the guy this year over there. I'm not saying Walker won't get his touches. Don't get me wrong, but they've kept Penny on the roster this long for a reason, and it's because he's the real deal. It's just taking a little long to get his legs going.
Taking a little long for you to make your pick too.
Yeah, and I was just about to say we need to start going quicker too. Yeah, I like Olave. I want pieces of that. Saints.
So that's a good thing that you brought up with Olave. Josh, you were talking earlier about how when you're looking to fill out your starting lineup, you're looking for sure things with sure thing quarterbacks, right? At what point in a redraft league are you okay taking that risk with like a high upside rookie?
No. Yeah.
So you're talking about like now's your opportunity where you're looking.
It also
at
depends on
guys
how you draft it, right? Like what position. Like right now,
Sure.
I'm taking my third wide receiver here. In the way that I drafted, I have Godwin, who's looking to play week 1. We're not really sure if he is or not. But so right now I'm looking for more of a sure thing. But if I was more confident that I had 2 wide receivers on the board, I would go. And take a chance. If I was really high, but it depends how high. But like I think these are the rounds right here where you reach a little bit.
Well, I mean, there's 4 rookie receivers that are like in RV right now, and that's Drake London, Traylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, and Chris Olave, right? So you're looking at 4 really high, and Christian Watson's not too far behind on this list. So you got 5 wide receivers that are rookies that are about to come off the board in the next 24 picks.
But do you know? But are they? I mean, well, yeah, they are. They are.
Absolutely. By the end of round 9, those 5 guys will absolutely be off the board because they are high upside, and a lot of rookie wide receivers, they do find success, right? So in the case that you did have like Godwin for week 1, you were sure of that. Now's the time to take your risk. Who's that rookie wide receiver you're going to go with? And care if I make a guess first?
Yeah.
By the way, Dave just got sniped. Guaranteed that's who Dave was going with. That was Brady. Dave, you can hit us in the comments. I guarantee that's Brady. Queued up number 1 for you. Who's that guy? Is it Garrett Wilson? Because you're a closet Jets fan?
No, it's Christian Watson for me.
You guys have those? Jets fans have those?
I think most Jets fans are closet. Yeah.
For me, it's Christian Watson just for the simple fact it's Aaron Rodgers. Now, I wouldn't go Christian Watson here. I'm not going him. But for me, I'm high on the Jets, higher than maybe some people are, 1,000%. But I would rather take Elijah Moore, just because you saw how he finished the season last year.
Love me some Elijah.
Drake London, like that. Atlanta's going to be a joke this year. I'm not comfortable taking him. So if I'm going to take anyone, and I'm going to reach for any rookie wide receiver, it's going to be the person who has, to me, the most talented quarterback who's ever played the game. So
you do love Rodgers. Is Rodgers on your list of consideration right now, or are you going with Stafford?
No, he is.
You're going to take Stafford over Rodgers. And you're going to pair him with Allen Robinson and Akers. You're just a huge Rams fan, you front runner.
I really hate you, bro. You're disgusting.
It's just too easy. I've done this with you a little bit too much. Where do you think our guys, like what do we say? You got Moss. That was one of your favorite teams, John. Where do you think he's going here? He's got 4 receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end. Does he take the quarterback here as he sees like a little bit of a run go? What do you think your favorite team here does?
You got Moss. I feel like he should just start getting depth. All the I guess Rodgers is still on the board, so maybe Rodgers, but I'd consider Rodgers for his team. But I'd be going just running back. Take some running back depth.
Yeah, I'm with
going in with 2 running backs
up there.
Yeah. Who's still
a team that you like, even if I liked Lamb or Pitts or Dobbins, things like that. I could, with 2 running backs, even if I like this team with 2 running backs in the 8th round, if I see a guy start taking like, quarterback and then receiver and like has his 5th receiver, and listen, you're a Najee Harris nagging injury away from like your season down the drain, even though you drafted well, right? So like it's really important in my mind to have that 3rd running back that where you really just have to avoid like crazy amounts of injuries to be stuck at that position. I really, really feel like, this draft, when you have two running backs or one running back in some cases at this point in the draft, if you don't back them up, you can lose your draft very quickly.
Just for the record,
I agree.
This is our first live draft for anybody who's still watching. We're definitely going to be doing more of these. And I'm not opposed to talking about this. I think we should shorten the picks to admit it.
We will.
Yeah, we got to do that. We're on pace to go.
I can actually do it now.
Yeah, let's speed this up a little bit.
Actually, guys, I was writing one.
What's that?
About speeding it up.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was in the middle of writing it.
And that's
We're
okay.
on the same page, man. We're on the same page.
This is our first time. We're figuring it all out.
This is
right?
trial and error.
But you know what? It's good because we're able to have that time in between picks to actually talk about this stuff. And this guy, you got Mossed. He's not even in the draft room. He's going to get auto picked for the first one of the draft,
right? Which
means he's probably getting Drake London if he was. I guess he had a queue up, so he had Elijah Moore in the queue.
Nice.
Guys, this is okay for our first draft too, because we it's going to get a little bit tired talking about the same players and everything. I think we can dive more into the teams and what these actual builds of the teams are going to look like. But right now, for our first time through, it's great just having this chat with you guys and having our listeners really feel like they're a part of this mock draft season. I like what's going on right now. I like that we're getting some comments. Keep them coming. When you see a pick as bad as Saquon Barkley in the second round, shout out Dave, bring it to us. We're all here for it.
And also, if you want to be a part of the draft too, if you have the Sleeper app, next time we announce these things, let us know and claim your spot. And then when you are drafting with us, get in the chat and talk to us and tell us why you're picking the players that you're picking and why. I mean, each draft is different, which is unique about fantasy football. And we're going to have different people on. It's not going to be just us three every single time. You might have some other podcasters or writers from FantasyHolics on here. So you're going to get different perspectives, different strategies for sure. And, I think this is, we should do this at least a few times a week for sure, just as a company Absolutely. As a whole. This is our first go around. So, obviously this is the first one that we did, working out the kinks. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want us to talk about, what you don't want us to talk about, what you want us to add to the broadcast, and we'll make the adjustments as we go forward. But so far, I think so good. We've had a nice little turnout. We've had people in the chat, and this has been a good time.
For sure.
Very beneficial. A lot out of it, no doubt.
Now here, just took Melvin Gordon, who I think, John, you mentioned a little while ago. I was saying about my last two picks, really, Renfrow and Gordon. Those are two guys that are falling way too far on the draft boards. Melvin Gordon was a top 20, 25 running back last year. And, I'm not really projecting him to lose any steam there. I think he's going to be doing the same stuff he was last year. Now, as my fourth running back, I think, he's better than an RB2 on a lot of these teams that I'm looking at, or has the potential to be better than a lot of these RB2s.
My dude, you lost and Ewedes.
Yeah. Could be better than Gibson. Could be better than Dobbins, for sure. Definitely better than Saquon. Josh Ruiz is bummed he missed getting in the mock. Wasn't he supposed to be here? He was talking today.
Yeah. It's all good, Josh. Next one.
Next time.
You got to get on it, man. These things fill up. They're ready. These are hot commodities, hot tickets.
Also, if you're watching on Facebook, we created a YouTube channel for this as well. So if you'd rather watch on YouTube, just the link is I'll post the link after this. It's just subscribe to the channel and you can watch it on YouTube because we are live on YouTube as well. So kids, we did make the adjustment to change to 1 minute. Still 2 minutes here.
Yep. I'll do that as soon as it's my pick, just to not interrupt. Right here, I'm about to go with somebody who I think is somebody who I'm planning on drafting. If I'm playing redraft, which I haven't really decided, but if I'm playing a redraft league, I'm going to get this guy. I actually just made a big trade that involved him. He was not by no means the centerpiece of this. That kind of sent our FantasyHolics chat into a tizzy. Let me see how I can draft settings. Maybe make it 1 minute.
That's a good thing. All the personalities, you get a lot of different perspectives.
Absolutely. Well, we have an IDP league, and we're good. This guy was involved. He was a very.
You love Russell Gage, bro. Come on.
No,
Stop trying to make Russell Gage happen,
Russell
man.
Gage
Come on.
is a thing, man, and Russell Gage is absolutely a thing this
man.
year. He's a good receiver, and he's never had Matt Ryan. Fine, he is what he is, but like at this stage of his career, he was like listen, if he had Matt Ryan like years ago, Russell Gage is a star. Not a Julio. He's not. No, years when he was like, he's been here for 3 years. How old is Russell Gage? Russell Gage is in his 4th year. Come on. And he's playing behind like Julio and like superstars, right? So what I'm saying is Russell Gage with Tom Brady. Brady's already working with him a ton, taking him under his wing, expecting a lot from him. And when you have Tom Brady expecting a lot from you, you put up. That's it. I'm a big fan of Russell Gage this year.
Okay. I look at the whole, what is this, the 8th round? I look at the 8th round and now the 9th round, and Lazard is, I think, the best wide receiver taken in both of those. So, Derek, good pick. I don't know how far down you had to go for that one.
Quite possible.
Like that one.
Yeah, Alan Lazard's ADP to me is wild, considering he's known as the wide receiver one. In Green Bay, I mean, you figure just that alone will bump you up a little bit, but yeah, I mean, if you get him in the 9th round, right, that's a steal, in my mind.
Yeah.
Real quick, guys. Just answer the question. No fluff. Josh, who was your best pick so far? Best value pick so far?
I don't know if I have one, if I'm being honest with you.
Johnny,
I think Allen Robinson. I think Allen Robinson's undervalued. I'll say Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson in the 5th. John, who's your best value pick?
I'm not sure I've made it yet, to be honest. I got some good ones in the queue, but I would go with Cortland Sutton because I'm super high on him.
You love him. Basically, end of 3rd round, early 4th round. That's fine. Mine's Hunter Renfrow. And what's that? Renfrow. Yeah, it's not even close. Absolutely. Now, if you had like one regret for this draft so far, you're 9 rounds in, 10 rounds in, 9 rounds in. Who's excuse me, the one pick that like you would take back?
Easy, fella. Easy. Whew. I'll go first. Joe Burrow. I would quarterback. It's not because of Joe Burrow. I think great top 5 potential, but I'm not typically one quarterback leagues to pick a quarterback that early. That was when my draft board was down though, so I guess I chalk it up to that. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't have went quarterback as early as I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Godwin just because I wait for wide receivers pre-late, and I am high on him, and I am confident that with him going forward, by the end of the year, my lineup's gonna look fine. But it does make me nervous to be drafting Brandon Ayuk in the 9th round and knowing I'm probably gonna have to start him week 1 based off what I have so far. So yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah, it's tough because it turns into you fighting for a playoff spot come the middle of the season because you had to not forfeit, but you kind of had a struggle with winning the games early on without your wide receiver too.
Right. And, Ayuk, you can make the case he could probably be a fringe wide receiver too, if Trey Lance turns out to be anything decent. And Kyle Shanahan doesn't have it out for him this year. I don't know what the hell was going on last year. But definitely not comfortable at all starting him week 1 for sure.
For me, if I could take a pick back, it would be Mahomes. And the reason is not because, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's excuse me, I'm dying. He's going to put up fantasy points, of course. But just seeing like guys like Stafford, Brady, Dak. Or is Dak even off the board yet? Is Dak still on the board?
No, Dak is still there, which is incredible value.
That's ridiculous. Because if you're looking at taking like a top 5 quarterback in round 4 versus taking a top 10 quarterback in round 10, the value is just there. It's crazy. If I had known that, if I had the foresight that, a guy like Dak or not really Rodgers, but like Stafford and Brady would be here in the 8th to 10th round, I think that there's no way that I'm taking Mahomes in the 4th, and it's not really that I'm like missing out on any of those guys right there. But even taking like a guy like A.J. Dillon or a guy like Damian Harris, something like that, like an extra running back instead of like having a 4th-round pick wasted on Mahomes. Even if I'm reaching for a guy that I like, I think that may be a better strategy for me in that case.
Well, this is interesting. PMax took Wilson and Sky Moore, so doubling up on rookie wide receivers there. I like Sky this year. Obviously he's not Tyreek Hill. We don't know that, but I don't think he's going to be that. But someone's got to catch the ball there. It could be Juju. We don't know what that offense is going to look like with all those new pieces. I think he's worth a flyer here in the 10th. And that's why, with that said, I'm going to go with Watson here. For the same reason when I said about Lazard. I mean, Aaron Rodgers got to throw the ball to somebody, right? Maybe it's Watson.
I was wrong, guys. Olave is he's still on the board, and Watson was too. Those 5 rookie receivers. Those two, they're still there.
I was almost going to go Olave instead of Landry, but my wide receiver 4 slot, I figured going a little more, like a little safer was a better option.
Yeah. Shout out to Danielle Bryan. I like this draft board. What particularly do you like about it? Which team do you like? Which one do you like the best?
Do you like what it looks like?
It's colorful.
The
next mock that we have. Maybe you can be a participant.
I missed it when he picked him, but Kadarius Toney, super upside this year. I really
do. Of course, Steve Ladd would take him. A huge Giant fan.
Yeah, he's a Giants fan.
But yeah, huge upside on Toney. I mean, in his limited time last year, you could tell that he's he's good. If Daniel Jones could get him the football, that new offense there, that's definitely high upside there. That's a good pick.
Once he figures out how to throw the ball.
Kind of a key attribute for a quarterback there, huh?
Yeah. No, I'm going to be honest and say that I think that Danny Jones steps up this year.
Oof.
Okay. I'm a big hater of the Giants. I love to hate on the Giants. I'm a Jets fan. But I think that with like Dable coming from Josh Allen, who had basically the same issues that Danny Jones has, it kind of seems like maybe something in the making here.
So Saquon's value is on the rise? Is that
no? I don't think Saquon is. what running back has ever been good with Josh Allen? But
you think it's going to be the same exact top? I mean, obviously, the offensive coordinator goes to New York, but you think he's basically just going to stick Daniel Jones and say, "Here, be Josh Allen"?
Why not? Worked for him once, right?
Yeah.
Lucas, great find. 10th round, finding a wide receiver 1.
If he plays.
Yeah.
What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking, I mean, what I'm going to do is, if this was a real league, I would be taking Dak Prescott and trade Mahomes because I don't like that pick. I also like Pierce, and yeah, that's fine. We'll take Dak here, knowing that my first order of business would be to trade Mahomes if I can't get the value that I want. I mean, you got a team you got Moss, whose quarterback 1 is Trey Lance. Sonic, he's got Aaron Rodgers, and with no receivers, who knows if Rodgers is into it anymore? You never know with that guy.
Right.
Everybody else, in a 1 quarterback league, it's so hard to trade. A guy somebody says, "Jesus, you could have waited on Dak." Maybe I could have, and that's okay. The point is, I got a quarterback 1 in round 10, and I can now move Mahomes for even somebody who was taken a little bit later than him. And kind of recover from that draft mistake that I have, or draft regret, if you will. The other thing is I need a tight end. There's a couple that I like here. There's also some really deep sleepers that I like just as much. So don't really feel like it's necessary to grab one here. I think I'm going to take a shot on this rookie running back, Damian Pierce. I have him in a few dynasty leagues. He was somebody I went out and got. I'm going to stay consistent and say, for my running back 5, let's take a shot.
I think
I like the Ronald Jones pick.
Clear it up for that comment he made about Dak. I think he meant for himself could have waited for Dak, not you, to take.
Oh, I mean, either way. Yeah. Either way, it fits. I probably could have waited another round to take Dak, but that's okay. If the guy who has Lance goes and takes Dak, I feel like I'm missing out on that value. And now I feel like I can trade Mahomes for anybody in the, up into the 6th round, or make like a package deal with somebody who has like a weaker quarterback and like weaker running backs. And I can find a couple candidates right now. Like if J.K. Dobbins is not really, super healthy or not performing early, well, you got Moss as a great target for Patrick Mahomes and like a Melvin Gordon for Najee. Something crazy like that, right? Something where I can maybe, because I took Dak here, I can be putting myself in a situation where I'm getting a superstar a few weeks into the season after somebody finds like a little bit of failure.
Yeah. Closer to the playoffs, you could do Mahomes and say Monty and get almost anybody you want.
Literally anybody, but I don't think I would even need to go that crazy. But you're right. Yeah, absolutely could do that. I could trade, Leonard Fournette if he's starting off hot, or Monty and Mahomes, and get a guy like, maybe not Taylor because he has Herbert, but like, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Imagine adding Cooper Kupp midseason, right? For sure. Now, do you guys ever draft to trade? Do you feel like you do that?
Yeah, lately I have been. That's a strategy that I actually haven't implemented until like the past few years. But what you just did, you weren't happy with your Mahomes pick and you grabbed Dak. I think that's a good way to make up for a mistake, quote unquote, in your
let's call it a regret. I don't think drafting Mahomes.
Yeah, you can't. Mahomes not
a regret.
Yeah. Someone else on auto.
Yeah, we're losing a little steam, but we're right back at it. Yeah, you see he drafts Tua right there. Granted, he's on auto, but like if Dak were to be available, he's drafting Dak there, right? And then I'm bummed out and feeling like, why did I waste this? And maybe my tight end is still there. If not, I have 3 others that I'm happy with. There's only one other team that doesn't have a tight end yet, and that's our guy, Italian Stallion. I say our guy. I don't know who it is, but I like his team.
We like his team. He's our guy. He's our guy.
he's got 3 rookie running backs and 4 running backs that have never played an NFL snap.
Whew.
Yeah, I know everybody's high on ETN. I am not as high as everybody. It's weird. His value went up his second year in the league after he didn't play the first year.
Very weird.
Very weird. Cook, I'll say it 1,000 times. Undersized backs. You're betting against yourself taking undersized backs, and Jared Cook is one of them. And then Isaiah Spiller, I do like that one though. Just it goes back to my Eckler point earlier on when we were talking about the first round there. But yeah, I really do like his team. Faded tight end, don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I mean, streaming. What do you guys feel about streaming tight ends now? Are you comfortable doing that? You got Komet late.
You just have to. I'm going to end up having to take another one here, probably.
Yeah.
But you just got to make sure you got depth at your other positions because it's tough. Redraft leagues, your bench isn't deep. So, but yeah, I don't mind it at all. It's a little hard in the beginning because tight ends are hard to figure out. So you got to figure out which ones are actually worth it. But
Josh, you said it too in your podcast. I think it was you that said, if you're either drafting in the first 4 rounds or you're drafting like super late and completely like punting, not really punting, but like you're not wasting one of those mid-round picks on a guy like Dawson Knox or Zach Ertz or Goddard, Freiermuth, like guys like that, where it's like they could really just be complete busts and a waste of a pick. At best, their ceiling is like, I don't know, tight end 12, right? I'm kind of with you on that strategy where I'm just gonna I'll take maybe a couple guys in the last 2 rounds and go from there.
Right.
Johnny just doubled up on his tight ends, giving himself another chance to like hit the dartboard. And that's I mean, I wouldn't hate him taking a 3rd tight end here and just like taking, seeing what happens, seeing what throwing darts at the board and seeing what sticks. Right?
You guys want to hear my hottest of hot takes? with my
Kenny Gainwell. Let's hear it.
I think that Kenny Gainwell, and we've already posted this on FantasyHolics.
Yes, we have.
I think Kenny Gainwell ends as a running back 2 this season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Casablac, if you are here listening to this, I agree with him. I love Gainwell, and I tell you all the time, Brian, Kenny Gainwell is the best running back in Philadelphia locker room.
You hate
Miles
Sanders.
is gonna. I don't know if he's gonna totally lose that job this year, but I think it's gonna be more of a 50-50 split, and I really think Kenny Gainwell can catch 60 to 75 balls this year. Believe it or not.
Wow.
See, you know what? I don't think that. We got a kicker off the board. I was gonna ask.
I forgot about the kickers.
In terms of Gainwell, I think that his competition is not Sanders, but it's Boston Scott. And if he can get over Boston Scott, then I think that we have an opportunity for him to do that. But if they are giving like that third down back role, and like, when Sanders inevitably gets hurt, like if they're giving that role to Boston Scott, got no shot, man. I still say he's the best running back.
So, kids, let's get your picks here. After that, I guess we're starting to get draft kickers. We're starting to do defenses. Let's just call it a show.
Mm-hmm.
And if get your players, kids, and then if you guys have any sleepers or anybody who hasn't been drafted, shout them out. Or maybe you want to hold on to them for future months.
I'm gonna hold on to them, but we'll get these last couple of picks in here, and then we can take off. Before we go, give me your one team that you say is winning the fantasy Super Bowl with no trades, no injuries, as is right now. Who's winning your fantasy Super Bowl?
That's a great question. Let me see.
Yeah, let's see.
And if you see a team that you think is going to the toilet bowl, shout them out too. We'll give that another couple minutes while you take a look. Aljair, good pick right there. Blaze.
Tough question.
I like Italian Stallion. I'm gonna go get like no one who's on the broadcast. So outside of
I'm not, because I'm going with the Great White Buffalo in the second pick. I think Great White Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl right now.
I'm gonna go Italian Stallion, and I'm gonna go Lucas. I like
Lucas.
Yeah.
Kamara, Evans, DJ Moore. He's got
Cup.
That's very surprising to me because he's very weak at running back, potentially.
Here's the thing: the
Kamara doesn't play for the first 6 weeks. Where is he at?
The whole Cordell Patterson thing to me is really interesting because I do think by week 3, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think by week 3, week 4, he's back to a wide receiver, running back type. I think there's a huge. I don't know. I like Lucas's team.
All right, fair enough.
Man, tough call.
I like my team. How do you guys feel about your team?
I like my team. About my team. Yep. I feel good. I don't think I got sniped on many players. Dave says Blaze or Jamaican colors. I do like. Let's Blaze.
Go.
Dave is just sucking up because he wants to be in your good graces for next draft. After a trade. Oh, I need a trade, huh? Damn.
All right, so let's close this up. If everybody who's been watching, if you stuck with us, thank you for joining us. We're gonna try to do these a few times a week. It's not always gonna be us 3. It could be another 3 from FantasyHolics. If you if you're not a writer, not a podcaster, like you can still be involved in the drafts. We will be posting when we will be doing the drafts, and you just claim your spot. Make sure to join the chat and chat with us, just like Dave has done so. Lucas has done so here today, and we'll keep it going. We do have a YouTube channel, so look out for that and subscribe. And anything else you guys want to add to that before we head out?
We'll make it shorter in the future. We'll do 1 minute per pick.
Way shorter. Yeah, we gotta do 1 minute.
We'll cut this in half, and appreciate you guys listening.
Nailed it.
All right, everybody. Till next time, join us again for another FantasyHolics live mock draft. Be on the lookout on the Facebook page. And if you aren't subscribed to the FantasyHolics Podcast Network, please do so. We have 3 podcasts right now. You have the Flex with me and AJ Kelly, which is for redraft, the Fat Boys Dynasty podcast with Bo and Brandt, and then Seth Berger does IDP. They're all great podcasts, and better get familiar. All right, everybody. Take care. Peace.